They get a running back, Dante Dowdell, who was only at Oregon for 1 year, played 6 games, but there really wasn't a great path there for him to get on the field next year. Wants to go somewhere at a high level where you get on the field, came on the visit up here to Nebraska, committed as well. So 2 in the boat. We're waiting on Jamal Banks. Michigan's still in play there with him. And then Stephon Thompson, who had K-State and also Florida State, the linebacker out of Syracuse. So lots of movement there with the portal.
And there might be others. Probably not a lot, but I've watched Nair a lot, and it is really enticing to watch. He big time speed. Now he's a big time speed guy. Banks isn't a big time speed guy. Banks is fast enough. Nair, I mean, he had 12 touchdown catches in a season. That's one thing that jumps out.
And Wyoming's not necessarily an air raid.
Oh, they don't run it. They don't pass it that
They're
much.
an under center throwing team.
Yeah, he's a big physical guy, 6'3", 215, great body control, can beat, you know, he gets behind defenses probably better than Banks, but still makes tough catches. Now people wonder, okay, so what happened at Texas? Oh, he blew out his knee in 2022 and then I think he got behind a stacked receivers core in 2023. But in the spring of 2022, now my nephew happens to be a Texas graduate, and he said there was a lot of excitement at Texas about Nair in the spring.
Like he could have been their number 1.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but you can. It's not hard to find Sarkisian quotes from 2022 saying, "Yeah, he caught a 63-yard pass in the spring game." Sarkisian said he's really good in the red area, and he is. If you watch the film, he's beautiful in the red area. He can make tough catches, those tough catches in the end zone against smaller corners. So, oh yeah, I mean, Nair looks like a guy, if you just look at his Wyoming film, he looks like a guy that could come in and be their number 1.
6'3",
215.
with a wingspan of nearly 7 foot.
Yeah. Oh, he's good looking. We haven't seen a lot of that lately. You're going to be like, And if they get Banks and him, they're both going to be in the starting lineup. Okay. Banks, I think Banks is the better of the two, actually. If in part because he's played the last 2 years and had 600 plus receiving yards in each of those years, had 9 touchdowns in 2022, 9 at Wake Forest, catching balls from Sam.
He was preseason all ACC.
He's real. I mean, all I can tell you is if you watch the film, you say, okay, yeah, he'll be in the starting lineup. That's the type of guy he is.
Now Michigan's the thing to watch there.
Because I can see him going to Michigan. He'd fit really well at Michigan.
And with the amount of players that could go pro,
yeah,
think how many roster spots could open at Michigan.
Right.
Along with their head coach going pro.
Boy, if you're a Nebraska fan, though, the thought of a 6'4", 208-pound Jamal Banks and a 6'3", 250-pound Isaiah Nair, it'd be
50-50 balls.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I wish out of your dreams after watching all these sawed-off 5'9" tracksters line up in the Big Ten to actually get some bodies out there.
Of their current guys they have, of the current guys coming back, who would you feel good about in a tight coverage 50-50 ball? If you had to pick one, Malachi would be probably but very, very inexperienced.
Yeah, these guys are grown. I mean, Malachi's still pretty young now. If you had those 3 out there, if you had these 2 with Malachi, it's a really good look.
Well, and the speed of Jalen Lloyd,
I was gonna say,
and Bullock is a steady guy. You know what you're going to get, and Isaiah Garcia could be a surprise. You don't know.
They can use DOS kind of more how they intended, that kind of gadget role where you can do in the backfield, and you can do all sorts of things with him. You don't have to line him specifically at wide receiver.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, if you added both of these 2 guys with the guys they got returning, it all of a sudden looks a lot different and a lot better.
No question. So with Dowdell,
Dowdell,
are we assuming he's going to come in and
compete,
be the number 1 guy?
1 or 2.
Is he there?
I think 1 or 2. I think
so. Who's the top competition?
I mean, I would think Irvin and him kind of will go at it. That's what I think. Gabe Irvin and Dowdell, and then you got Ramir as a kind of a different kind of, I don't know, what are you going to call him, a third down back, whatever you want to call him. I think he's more than that. I just like the idea of a veteran Gabe Irvin, a veteran Ramir Johnson. Now you're bringing in a big, physical 6'2", 218-pounder that does throw body blows.
And there's definitely, you can sense the chippiness from Emmett Johnson's social media postings. You know, just that he's fired up about this.
There's a lot of people that'll say, "What about Emmett Johnson? He was our best back last year." And granted, he entered the year as the fourth back, and he only played out of
necessity and did his job.
Yeah, and he was fine. But I'm saying, like, they need to be better than fine at that position. They need to be high level.
Bam.
Look at the team that just won the national championship. They have 2 elite running backs.
And look at who just went to Ohio State. The kid from Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. The top backs in the Big Ten averaged maybe 17 to 18 carries a game tops. There's no such thing as a 20 carry. 12 to 15 is a realistic workload for a lot of Big Ten backs. So you're going to need 2 guys, if not
more.
Well, 2 for sure, and then like a all-purpose guy.
They had 4 last year.
Yeah, what I would tell Emmett Johnson is you're still going to be part of the picture.
Yeah,
I mean, you're probably going to be needed. I mean, he was needed as he started 6 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
You still probably need him.
There's no Eddie Georges left in college football,
right,
like where you get
not many
30 carries a game.
I mean, Mo Ibrahim was probably the last like true belt. I mean, the Wisconsin guys too, but like they're a dying breed.
Yep, that type of running back that Sean's talking about, you don't see it very often at all.